right, so when you think about the people who built Detroit, you know, the names like Ford and Dodge certainly come to mind.
How about Clark? You may not have heard of Thomas E. Clark, no relation, but he was instrumental in the growth of Detroit. And his company is still here, but you wouldn't recognize what it's become. You're looking at one of the companies that built Detroit. It's Tekla USA. Tucked into an industrial park in Walled Lake now, Tekla has divisions that make parts for boats, fishing tackle, and pet grooming products, including their famous guillotine-style nail trimmers. The question is, what do dog clippers have to do with the growth of Detroit? Well, that's a long story. In fact, 117 years long. The company was founded in 1897 by Thomas E. Clark, a Scottish immigrant who came to Detroit via Canada. Thomas was an inventor and innovator who hooked up with a couple like-minded gentlemen of the time. Maybe you've heard of them, Thomas Edison and Henry Ford.
Henry Ford came to him one day and said, "Tom, can you build an ignition system for me?" And he did. Build a prototype ignition system for him. And then Henry came to him and said, "Tom, would you like to be my chief engineer? I'm going to set up my own business." And my grandfather looked at him, being the crusty Scotsman that he was, and said, "How would you feel working for somebody else?" and walked away.
Thomas Clark had a few of his own ideas and started building wireless radios, which quickly revolutionized shipping on the Great Lakes, which helped Detroit become the 20th century's first industrial powerhouse.
I think he contributed a lot.
The Tekla company continued to improve on wireless technology, and in 1920 helped put America's first AM radio transmitter on the air, Detroit's WWJ. By the 30s, Thomas's son James was involved in the company, and like his dad, had the old inventor spirit.
He and a marine engineer from Scotland by the name of Charlie Lang had this idea that it's a pain in the neck to trim a dog's nails, so they said we can build something to cut a dog's nails. So they actually put their heads together and designed the first nail cutter.
Now, more than 100 years later, Thomas's grandsons run the business, which now includes a fourth generation of Clarks and more than a few dogs. And what's up with all the dogs?
Well, those are our test dogs, so we have a number of Goldens here every day, along with the Brittany Spaniel, so they get their nails clipped and they try out the new products, the new pet products for us.
How's that, a company where the dogs can hang around? You can see more of what Thomas Clark's company has evolved into tomorrow night on the Science Channel. The show How It's Made, one of my favorites, will be featuring the Resco nail trimmers that has made them famous.
Isn't that cool? And isn't it cool that a grandson knows all of that
history?
history?
And then they've got a fourth generation involved. And this company's been around for more than 100 years, helping build Detroit. And they just evolve with the times.
With the last name Clark.
With the last, I wish I were related now.
I bet. Oh, really cool. Nice story.